बाह्यस्पर्शेष्वसक्तात्मा विन्दत्यात्मनि यत्सुखं स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखमक्षयमश्नुते. In this verse, Krishna explains that a person who is not attached to external pleasures and sensations finds true happiness within themselves. Such an individual who is aligned with Brahman through yoga experiences lasting joy that does not diminish over time. This inner happiness comes from the realization of one's true self and connection to the divine, rather than from fleeting external experiences. By turning inward and cultivating this spiritual connection, a yogi achieves eternal bliss that remains unaffected by the ups and downs of life. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यान्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः. In this verse, Krishna explains that the pleasures derived from sensory experiences are temporary and lead to suffering. These pleasures have a beginning and an end, and they arise from contact with the senses. He advises Arjuna that a wise person does not indulge in these fleeting pleasures, as they recognize that such enjoyment ultimately leads to pain and dissatisfaction. Instead, the wise person seeks lasting happiness through spiritual knowledge and inner peace, understanding that true joy is not shaknoti haiva yasodhum praksharira vimokshanaat kamakrododbhavat vegam sayukta. In this verse, Krishna emphasizes that a person who can endure the intense urges of desire and anger, which arise even before a body is freed at death, is truly wise and happy. Such a person remains steadfast and balanced, practicing self-control even in challenging situations. By mastering these powerful emotions, they achieve inner peace and contentment. This resilience leads to true happiness, as they are not swayed by external circumstances or internal turmoil, showing the strength of their spiritual practice. Yontas sukhontaramas tathantarjyotirevayah sayogi brahmanirvanam brahmabhutodhigacchati. In this verse, Krishna describes the qualities of a true yogi who experiences inner happiness and joy from within, rather than from external sources. This yogi finds a deep inner light that brings them true contentment. Such a person who is established in yoga and realizes their unity with Brahman attains liberation. This means they experience oneness with the divine and transcend the cycle of birth and death. The yogi's inner peace and joy reflect their profound understanding and connection to the ultimate reality. Labhante Brahmanirvanam ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः. In this verse, Krishna states that those who are free from impurities, kshenakalmashaha, and have overcome dualities, attain Brahmanirvana. These are the sages or rishis who have controlled their minds and are dedicated to the welfare of all beings. Sarvabhuta hite rata. Such individuals find profound peace and liberation because they are focused on the well-being of others. Having transcended personal desires and attachments, their selfless nature and commitment to the greater good enable them to experience true spiritual fulfillment and unity with the divine. Kama krodha viyuktatmai yatina yatachetasam abhito brahmanirvanam vartate viditatmanam. In this verse, Krishna explains that for those who have overcome desires and anger and have disciplined their minds, the state of Brahmanirvana is always present and accessible. These individuals who are dedicated to their spiritual practice and have realized their true self find that liberation is within their reach at all times. Their inner peace and mastery over emotions create a profound connection to the divine, allowing them to experience the ultimate state of bliss and freedom. Sparshan kritva bahirbhayansh chakshushchaivantare bhruyuh pranapanau samau kritva nasabhyantaracharinav. In this verse, Krishna describes a meditative practice for attaining inner peace. He advises focusing on the external sense objects and then bringing attention inward, specifically to the space between the eyebrows. By equalizing the breath, prana and apana, Through controlled breathing, one can calm the mind and senses. This practice helps to center the individual, leading to a state of deep concentration and tranquility. By turning inward and balancing the vital energies, a person can experience greater awareness and connection to the true self. यतेन्द्रियमनोबुद्धिर्मुनिर्मोक्षपरायणः विगतेच्छाभयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सः. In this verse, Krishna explains that a sage or muni who has mastered their senses, mind, and intellect and is focused on liberation or moksha remains free from desires, fears, and anger. Such a person is always in a state of liberation regardless of external circumstances. Their inner mastery and peace allow them to live freely, unaffected by the turmoil of the world. This highlights the importance of self-control and the inner journey towards spiritual freedom, showing that true liberation comes from within. Bhoktarei yajna tapasam sarvalokamaheeshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanai gyatva mam shanti mrichati. In this verse, Krishna reveals that one who recognizes him as the ultimate enjoyer of all sacrifices and austerities, the Lord of all worlds and a friend of all beings, attains true peace. Understanding this connection brings a deep sense of tranquility as it allows individuals to see the divine presence in all aspects of life. By acknowledging Krishna's role as the benevolent protector and sustainer, one can let go of anxieties and attachments, leading to a state of lasting inner peace and harmony with the universe.